Time to get in, loser. We got to hit the course.
There's only 2 seats on the golf cart.
Yeah, we got those covered already, but we left one in the back. Just strap in.
What?
Just hop in. Come on.
What a bunch of jerks.
This is Cents Per Mile, featuring Charles Gracie, Paul Gibson, and Josh Haynes. Everyone knows the trucking industry has issues, but most people are afraid to talk about it.
Someone's got to do it.
With loads of recruiting and marketing experience and backed by the largest driver audience in the world, we deliver carriers the driver perspective, find solutions, and help make sense make sense.
Cents Per Mile's here, and we're at the Sonoma Ranch Resort for the MBT charity event. I'm Charles Gracie. I'm your host.
I'm Paul Gibson. I'm having a great time. I will say, MBT are excellent hosts. They're awesome. Our host is a jerk.
I mean, perception's reality. We got you doing some risky things, and we may be a new hazard on the green today.
Yep, and I have a feeling by the time Josh is done driving me around attached to the back, my handicap's probably going to go through the roof.
We got a lot to cover, so let's get at it.
Good morning and welcome everyone. We thank all the sponsors. Without those guys, we wouldn't be able to have this great tournament we're having today. Let's play golf.
I'm here with Royal Jones. You know, you're the founder and CEO of Mesilla Valley, and you kind of threw this all together, so tell me a little bit about it.
Well, actually, my daughter who runs our marketing threw it together. I just take the credit for things that they do. But this will be our 8th charity golf tournament. We give 100% of the funds raised back to charities in this community. And we don't just pick them. They actually make these charities audition to see who we think will do the best with the money for the community, for the people. We've given more money each year. Last year, we netted $62,000 and went to Mesilla Valley Casa, which takes care of kids that don't have parents. And this year, this foundation will give it to the community of Divot, which is south of here, which is a very modest community that really tries hard and struggles. So we think we can help them a lot. And I think the money is going to be bigger than last year. And last year was $62,000. So we're thinking we're going to beat that today.
I think you're correct because we had a great turnout for the morning round, and then we still have the afternoon one to get through. I mean, it's pretty impressive, and it's a beautiful facility here.
And, of course, this wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for our vendors and sponsors. Like Ryder put in $10,000, Aflac put in $10,000, Michelin $5,000, Border International $5,000. We have a lot of big sponsors that throw this way over the top to help us raise that kind of money for the area, and we appreciate them.
And an important cause, great sponsors, great company, great culture. So tell us a little bit about, you know, how that's come to fruition over the years. Because, I mean, you guys have a pretty impressive stance in the industry.
You know, I started as a truck driver when I was 19. I started at 18, but I bought my first truck when I was 19. And I knew how to do truck driving. I knew how to work on trucks. So at about 27, when I started Mesilla Valley and started hiring other drivers, you really couldn't fool me because I knew. I've been there and done that. And that's what you have. And most trucking companies don't have anybody in there that have been there and done that. You might have the most brilliant CFO and brilliant head of sales that read a bunch of books and went to college, but they've never really been there and done that. They never got their hands dirty. So we've always surrounded ourselves with the best people we can find and try to really get people that have some kind of experience in the trucking industry and know how to treat drivers with respect and care. Just as we care for our customers, we care for our drivers. We're nothing without our drivers. We're nothing without any of our employees, but we must have our drivers, and we do a great job of making them realize that. I have 350 drivers that have over 1 million miles with MBT. I got a couple of guys that are up in the 9 million range.
That's impressive all in its own stance. And being a former driver, I can appreciate someone taking the initiative to try to give the drivers a better experience because not everyone's doing that. Drop some wisdom on our audience. What's one of the number one things that you would point attention to right now?
We got to keep looking good. We got to look good to the communities. We got to drive safely. We got to think about the people out on the highway that we're driving with and we're sharing that highway with. I get a lot of great calls and emails from people saying, hey, I was riding next to one of your drivers, and you're thinking, oh boy, here it comes. And they're like, you know, they were so polite and so courteous. Of course, you get the bad ones too, but we have an image to keep up, and trucking has gotten a bad image over the years, but it seems like it's slowly getting better, but it takes you and me to make it better, and we got to do the right things. Don't speed, don't jerk, don't change lanes fast, just be smooth and be helpful. How about the old stories of a truck driver stopping to help my mother change a tire? You know what I mean? Yeah. We got to get back to that. good industry feeling that we're the good guys out there.
Well, that's awesome. Well, this is a great event. Appreciate you taking the time out to share your insights with us and our audience, and thank you.
You bet. Thank you guys. Thank you again.
Full disclosure, I don't know anything about golf. And the stuff that I've already had to do, I'm here. We're in New Mexico, and I'm feeling kind of trapped.
Hey, Paul, you're doing a great job, but when you make a mess inside one of these traps, you got to clean it up. So I'll take this, you take that, and just, have a good day. You missed a spot. Is now a good time to tell him that he missed another spot?
Did you know our statistics show it takes about 33 applications to get to the one hire? This means managing your recruiting department is crucial. There's many of ways to manage the success of your recruiting department within Tenstreet. First thing that comes to mind to me is the Success Center. Within the Success Center, you can identify what is your initial response time for applications. What is your show rate to orientation? What does your hiring cycle look like? How does that measure between your recruiters? And how do you measure as a company next to companies of your size? Outside of the Success Center, there's many reports that are built within the dashboard to help break down these numbers. There's many ways also within the dashboard as a recruiter to be able to prioritize your day, to individually be in control of making your day, your week, your month successful.
Hey, Charles, you comfortable over there?
Yeah, I'm good, man.
Hey, Paul, how you doing? We got a real big bump coming up, dog. Hey, Paul, we're going off road.
What do you mean we're going off road? Oh, God.
This is ridiculous! Oh my!
Somebody save me.
You good, man?
You don't look very comfortable.
Yeah, I'm great. So we are here with Jackie, and we're going to talk about what it looks like to put all of this on.
We generally start in January. We start working on our application process, and we send it out to all the charities that we know of in town, and we also send it out through social media, press releases, just getting people interested. So they'll start to submit their applications, and then we go through a process where we kind of just go through them, figure out which charity we want to donate to that year. Audrey starts with all of the promotional packages, the advertising packages. Probably in about March, we start sending those out, and we just start reaching out to all of our vendors, people that we work with. A good majority of our sponsorships come from the vendors that we work with out of town. While this is a big community event, we get a ton of support from the companies that help us every day. Yeah. And so it's a huge task, and it always comes together so nicely. And that credit goes to my marketing team. I have an amazing team. Audrey spends tons of time putting this together. She talks to all of the sponsors. She works with the charity. She organizes within the office to get volunteer staff to come out here and help us. She does an amazing job.
So now that it's actually happening and people are actually out on the green like that, how does it feel now that it's actually like going on and everything seems to be going smooth? Is that like a huge relief yet?
Yeah, it is a huge relief. The first couple of years that we were doing these events, they were much more stressful, but we've worked with the courses enough. And like I mentioned before, the marketing team just does an amazing job of making sure that everything runs smoothly. At MBT, we're all about teamwork, and everybody just comes together and helps each other.
You, obviously, being part of the family that owns MBT, you've seen it kind of growing up and been around it. What are your feelings and your experience with MBT?
So some of my first recollections of MBT, I was just a child, probably, younger than 5 years old. We were in a trailer house off of Picacho here in Las Cruces. That's where the office was. And I remember just playing outside in the little dirt lot under a big tree with my sister. That's where we would hang out in the afternoons. That's where the school bus would drop us off at. To see and know where we started and just how the company's evolved, it's like a miracle. It's amazing. We've had the opportunity and have just been blessed to work with some really great people. Everything that we do wouldn't be possible without the people that we have here.
We found out earlier, that your dad did drive. Like, how has this whole thing shaped your perspective on drivers? Because some companies, there's people who have experienced, like living with someone who drives, and some haven't. And so it's a pretty unique perspective to be a part of a business, where drivers are out there doing it and actually having the experience of having someone in your family drive.
He drove before I was born. He quit driving right before I was going to be born. But I do know that one of the reasons he wanted to stop driving was because he missed out on my brother's childhood years because he was always on the road. So that was really important to him, to be able to be home with his family and with his kids. Seeing everything that our drivers go through, the time that they're away from home, away from their families, the just things they have to deal with on the road, it makes me, not just me, but as MBT, want to be able to provide for our drivers. We want them to have good experiences. We want them to be treated well. It's really frustrating to me when I'm traveling, if I go into a truck stop and you just hear people talking poorly about drivers. You see people treating them poorly, and there's absolutely no reason for it. They work harder than most people do, especially because of that time away from their families, away from their homes. We used to have a big Christmas party every year. COVID kind of ruined that, but there was one year where I went to a store and found a dress that I wanted to wear to the party, was really excited about it, tried it on, looked great. Whenever I went to pay for it, the lady was like, "Oh, are you going to an event?" And I said, "Yes, actually I am, my company's Christmas party." And she's like, "Oh, where do you work?" I told her Mesilla Valley Transportation, and she's like, "You're going to wear this for a bunch of truck drivers?" And I was just like, you know what? I don't want the dress anymore. And I've never returned to that store since because I was just rubbed wrong by that comment, and there was just no need for it. And little did she know, she only had items to sell in that store because of drivers. Like, if it wasn't for drivers, she wouldn't have a job. Mm-hmm. And it frustrates me to no end, the stigma that's attached to drivers. And it's something that we really want to change.
Legacy is a big deal to a lot of people. We kind of talked about what it looked like growing up. Like, as far as things moving forward, like, what do you want to see the legacy of MBT kind of turn into?
I can't say that I know what it's going to be like or what it's going to look like, but one thing that I do know is that we'll always be focused on providing our employees and our drivers with the best work experience possible. We want to be able to make sure that we're able to provide for them so they can provide for their families.
I'm not athletic by any means, but I guess I'm going to go take a whack at it.
All right, Paul.
There's a lot of houses over there. As long as it wasn't a window. I didn't hear a crack, so I didn't hit one.
All right, Charles, show us what you got. It was in the air.
Yeah. That was a solid 20 to 25 feet. Yeah.
That dirt went farther than your ball.
All right, I'm here with Richard from American Linen and Supply. And Richard, this is a fantastic event. And from what I hear, you've been a partner of MVT's for some time. So tell us a little bit about that.
We have. MVT is such a great company and does so many good things for this community. We've partnered with them with this golf tournament for quite a few years now, and it's been very successful, and they raised tons of money for great things in the community.
Yeah, and I think that's the huge part is, a lot of people put focus on just inside their walls and their employees, but here we have an example of people giving back to the local community and all the people that have rallied to that cause, like yourself.
Yeah, it's great. Once again, they sold the tournament out before the tournament even took place, so it's a great deal partnering with Royal, and Mesilla Valley Transportation is just huge, and what he does for the community, what American Linen does for the community, we try to give back everything we can.
So now, if someone wanted to reach out to you guys and, look into your services, how would they do that?
We have a website, yourlinencompany.com, or American Linen Supply. We're a locally owned and operated business here in Las Cruces. We're celebrating our 75th anniversary. So really enjoy it. And like I said, Mesilla Valley Transportation's a huge partner of ours, and we do everything we can to help them as well.
We've had a pretty interesting day here. It's been full of all kinds of memories, but none of this would happen without the sponsors. So I'm here with Ann from Ryder. You guys are one of the sponsors that helped make this happen.
Yeah, and we're so excited. This is our first year to have been a title sponsor, and what makes it so much more important is it gives back to the community, right? So we're out here, what a better day to play golf on a Friday afternoon, right? Supporting our customer, but bigger pictures, we're supporting the community, and that's what it's really about.
Well, and that's huge. A lot of people talk about how they support their companies internally and their clients, but to give back to the community, especially in the time that we're in right now, that's a big move. So, I'm sure everyone's thankful for your involvement.
Well, it's, and it's so important coming from a Fortune 500 company. Sometimes, community, to your point, gets lost. And so this is really a big event for us, and we're happy to be a part of it.
So tell us a little bit about your role within Ryder.
So I'm the Director of Business Development, which is a really fancy title for I am in national sales, manage business of large fleets. So Mesilla Valley is one of the large fleets that I manage.
So how long is that relationship?
Well, I took over the account about 2 years, but I think our relationship with Mesilla Valley, so we have, at 30,000 feet, we have a strong relationship on our freight side. And on my division, it's been about 5 years. So 5 years and growing.
That's quite a partnership.
It is.
So, we're at a beautiful golf course.
Right.
I know we were out there, and by no means are we even good. I think we should be given the highest handicap on a golf course. But do you golf?
It's a scramble. Well, I think to actually say I'm a golfer is probably taking liberties. But I do love getting out there and hitting the ball and socializing. Yeah.
And it's been a great event. Lots of sponsors, great cause, great weather.
And, what a better place. Today the weather is so beautiful. It's not too hot. I don't know what the afternoon flight's going to be like, but yeah, great event, great people.
So now, Ryder's a huge company. If someone wanted to get a hold of you guys, how would they find you guys?
Ryder.com, right? Just like that. Yep. Ryder.com. We do a little bit of everything. We can rent you a truck, move your freight, lease you a truck, answer questions, anything like that. Ryder.com. We pretty much span the entire transportation delta. So anything you need.
Well, hey, Ann, it's been a pleasure meeting you and getting a chance to talk with you. I know you're busy at this event, especially being one of the title sponsors, but thanks for your contributions, and thanks for taking the time.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I'm here with Philip from Aflac, and, you guys are one of the title sponsors for today's event, and it had a great turnout, great weather, fantastic course. So
couldn't have been better.
Have you gone out there and hit some balls yet?
Yeah, actually, was out on the morning flight, and we did okay. It was serviceable. No houses were harmed in the making of this golf tournament, at least from us. So
I was about to say on that side, questionable, because we were out there too, and choices were made when they gave us a cart and clubs.
That's true. I understand.
So being a name sponsor for this event and that partnership that you guys have with MBT, tell us a little bit about how that came into play.
Yeah, so MBT is actually a brand new client with Aflac this year. And so as we were working through, how do we best partner with them as not only one of their benefits providers, but a true business partner, hey, what are some other ways we can get involved? And they said, hey, our golf tournament happens every year, goes to a great cause. And so we wanted to definitely be a part of it and said, hey, if we can be the biggest part, let's do that.
Well, and that's pretty interesting because it's going to a local community cause, which is huge. We've talked throughout the episode about how people focus inside their walls, and, we big advocates for partnerships and relationships on the show. So here we have a new partnership relationship, and it's already come to fruition. Yeah. So with Aflac, if someone wanted to reach out to you guys, how could they find you?
So that's one of the beauties of Aflac is that we actually have the biggest local force of any insurance carrier really in the country. And so there's going to be Aflac agents local to you wherever you're at. We've got a great crew that's in the El Paso, Las Cruces area. Josh Murillo, you can look him up. He's the local guy. But again, that's the beauty of the Aflac network is really we have local agents all across the country. So if somebody needs something, whether they're a policyholder or not with us, hey, just go Google where the nearest Aflac office is, and I bet there's one right next door.
It's interesting you said if someone needs some, because I need some. I want to talk to the duck.
So we don't have the actual duck, but if you do go to our table in there, we've got some giveaway ducks. They do quack. They say the Aflac for us. So I have personally got to meet the duck, and he is in pretty high demand in his little pond in Georgia where he hangs out. So he's hard to get away from the duck life.
So folks, you hear that. We're just not quite there yet where we haven't earned a spot with the duck. But right now we have Philip, and he told you how to get a hold of him. And thank you for your contribution to this fantastic event.
Absolutely. We're happy.
Taking time to talk to us.
Yeah, happy to do it. I appreciate it.
Welcome to the 2024 Terrible Club Range Award. Charles is up first.
That was a solid 20, 25 feet.
If he slices that, you're taking that in the face. Come on.
So, Charles, how you feeling after that amazing performance?
After 2 warm-ups, I nailed it.
And
It's my jam.
That's what the kids are calling it nowadays? All right, cool. All right, Paul, you're up.
Yeah.
There you go.
Best one yet.
That's right. I'm pretty sure I definitely hit that ball further than you. All of them. Towards the end there.
Counting the one that went toward the window?
I was kind of getting warmed up, started getting some consistency towards the end. I still don't know how to play golf, but you didn't hit that far back middle one. I got past it.
Nah, I think perception's reality on this one, and I perceived that I won.
You know, it was kind of on camera. That's not really that's how the perception. Well, okay, the perception from the camera is.
Realistically, they both just are absolute trash at golf. That's really what it is.
This has been fun.
Yeah, it's been a good time and for a great cause. And like always, all good things got to come to an end. So thanks for tuning in to Cents Per Mile. I'm your host, Charles Gracie.
So glad I got off the back of that golf cart. I'm your co-host, Paul Gibson. See you next time.
Mesilla Valley Transportation, founded by truck drivers for truck drivers. Why choose MVT? Well, it's simple.
I started off as a driver. Now I'm managing routes. With MVT, the sky's the limit.
Balance is key. State-of-the-art equipment, a strong focus on safety, and a family-driven company culture where respect and hard work are at the core. Mesilla Valley Transportation, where we care about you. Join our family today.